You're lying in bed. Your mind is running through every possible outcome of tomorrow's conversation. What if they misunderstand? What if you say the wrong thing? What if there's a better way to phrase it? You've been thinking about this for an hour, and you're no closer to a decision. This is overthinking. And if you're smart, you do it constantly. Not because you're anxious, not because you're indecisive, but because your brain is wired to see complexity, and complexity is paralyzing. This is the psychology of why smart people overthink everything, and why intelligence can become a trap. Smart people don't overthink because they're insecure. They overthink because they see too many options. Every decision has variables. Every conversation has subtext. Every action has consequences, and your brain tracks all of them. Where most people see a straightforward choice, you see a decision tree with 15 branches. Each branch leads to more branches, and suddenly a simple question becomes impossibly complex. Should you send that email now or wait until tomorrow? Most people just send it, but you're calculating. Will they read it tonight? Will it seem too eager? Is the tone right? Should you rewrite the subject line? This isn't irrationality, it's hyper-awareness. You're not wrong to consider these things, but you're stuck because you're considering all of them at once. Intelligence gives you the ability to simulate outcomes, to predict how people will react, to anticipate problems before they happen. But it also means you're constantly running scenarios, and most of those scenarios never happen. You're solving problems that don't exist yet, and in the process, you're paralyzed by possibility. Smart people are used to being right. They were the kid who got the answers, the one who understood things quickly, the one others turned to for explanations. And that creates a hidden pressure. You're not allowed to be wrong. Being wrong doesn't just mean making a mistake, it means your identity is threatened. If you are the smart one, then making a bad decision, saying something foolish, or missing an obvious detail feels like a betrayal of who you are. So you overthink, because overthinking feels like preparation, like due diligence, like ensuring you won't be the person who missed something obvious. But here's the problem. No amount of thinking can eliminate uncertainty. You can analyze forever, you can weigh every option, you can construct the perfect plan, and life will still surprise you. People will still react unpredictably, outcomes will still diverge from your expectations. Overthinking isn't protecting you from being wrong, it's protecting you from having to face the discomfort of not knowing, and that discomfort is unavoidable. Overthinking happens because your brain treats hypothetical problems the same way it treats real ones. You're not just thinking about what might go wrong, you're experiencing it. Your body responds as if the problem is already happening. This is why overthinking is exhausting. You're not just imagining worst-case scenarios, you're living them over and over. Your brain evolved to solve problems, and it's very good at it. But it wasn't designed to distinguish between a problem that exists and a problem you're inventing. So, when you lie awake thinking about a conversation that hasn't happened yet, your brain activates the same stress response as if the conversation is happening now. You feel the anxiety, the tension, the urgency to solve it. But you can't solve a problem that doesn't exist yet, so your brain just keeps looping. This is the trap. Smart people are good at anticipating problems, but they're so good at it that they create problems just by thinking about them. And the more you think, the more problems you generate. The more problems you generate, the more overwhelmed you feel. Overthinking isn't clarity, it's mental exhaustion disguised as productivity.
You can't stop being smart, and you can't turn off the ability to see complexity. But you can learn to recognize when thinking is helping and when it's just looping. Here's the difference. Thinking is productive when it leads to a decision or action. If you're analyzing a problem and you arrive at a next step, even a small one, you're thinking effectively. Overthinking is when you're stuck in analysis with no movement. If you've been thinking about the same thing for an hour and you're no closer to a decision, you're overthinking. The antidote isn't to stop thinking, it's to set a threshold. Give yourself permission to think about something for a set amount of time. Then make a decision with the information you have. Not the perfect decision, not the decision that accounts for every variable, just a decision. Because here's the truth, most decisions are reversible, most conversations are recoverable, most mistakes are fixable. You're overthinking because you believe the stakes are higher than they are, and they're not. You're not going to ruin your life by sending an email at the wrong time. You're not going to destroy a relationship by saying something imperfect. You're just going to be human, and that's allowed. Smart people overthink because they can, but the smartest thing you can do is recognize when thinking stops being useful and act anyway.